Hey guys, so I decided to try and make another video because people could not join and I couldn't record the session. So I will make another design from scratch. In the class we had today, I spoke about all of these things, opening a Figma file, pages, you can add a new page here, you can find the layers here, assets here, and on the right hand side, you can alter elements. These are the tools for design. They also have short commands you could type to get them. So in the previous class, we designed this, but in this class, we're going to take it a notch further because I know you can always watch the video again. We'll take it a notch further, and I will ensure that this class is very, very short. Now, what is the first thing to do when you want to design anything in the world? You want to design a new car, a new plane, you want to design a house, you want to design a flyer. What do you do first? You do a research. So I will be showing you my screen. Here we can go and I can type in dribble. Remember I told you to download two tools. I said download dribble or install, I mean, get a dribble account and also get Moozly. Moozly is the plugin I use. Why do I use it? Because it gives me design inspiration immediately. All of these people are the, key people in the design industry. You can also see jobs here. You can see articles on design on all of these things. Very, very useful plugin to use. It's called Moozly. I have told you how to install it. Go back to the introduction document. You'll find the link to Moozly so you can all join it. But now let's go ahead, and from here I can also find designs, trending designs today. You know, this is it. They just help your mind, become attuned and accustomed to what good design is. That's why I use this website. Well, let's go on, and I will go to dribble.com and enter. Dribble is the three triple D's, and so while it's loading, you also remember again that we're trying to design a restaurant app. And what's the first thing you do when you're trying to design something? You press your frame. This is the frame symbol. You click on frame. Then immediately click on frame. You see that this thing has changed, and we see desktop. We choose 1440 by 1024 because many computers, people with computers who are not MacBook users, and so they will need to see a screen size. So we've chosen a screen size. Now I'll go back to dribble. This is my dribble, and I will search for restaurant websites. So I said the first step in the design is to do research. So we're going to be looking for a good design to work with, to work on. These are all inspirations. So these inspirations are called mood board. So we look at one that is very identical to what we already have before, and I will pick this one. Looking at our previous work, this is not a very, very great design. It's just a tutorial to help you understand how to use all of the tools. For some of you, I say maybe to format Figma, you may not see your tools here, you might see the tools at the top here. It's still the same thing. Everything is the same thing. Now, what is wrong with this particular design? Why is it not amazing? Because the buttons are not properly done. I did not properly space them well. And we'll be fixing that in this new tutorial. So what do? I go back to my inspiration and I pick this design. I think I'll pick this one. Or better still, let's just keep looking till I find something more suitable. And it doesn't mean I'm trying to copy the exact design. I just want to steal an idea from the design. So these are just fantastic designs to look at. And I will pick this one. I'll pick this one and work with it. So I'll let it load. It's taking a while to load. So while I wait for it to load, I will go back to page 1 and copy this old design, copy it, go back here, tutorial, and open it to the side like this. Okay, so it is loaded. So what I did now was that I right clicked and I copied image, and I came here and you can just right click and paste the image. Why? Why are we doing this? We're doing this because to be a good designer, you must take inspiration from other designs too. The next thing I will do is I'll take this and I'm going to create a grid. So grids are used for aligning different things. If you look at a car, a house, they all follow different grid and rules, magazines, flyers. So I'll click on my desktop now and I'll come to the bottom. You can see this layout grid. I'll click the plus here. Then it brings up this thing and it brings up a grid. So I'll change the column. Then I'll change the number of column here with this dot. I'll change the column to 12. Why? Because every design actually has a grid. Look at this design. There's usually actually the designer did something like this, and he also did this, making sure his designs were splitted evenly. You can see that I'm basically just touching this area. So it did all of this here, and that's what we're trying to do first. So the space between A and here, is referred to as padding or margin. I mean, there are two concepts which you have to learn, but let's give it our padding, our margin rather. So we will say 60. 60 seems too small. Let's do 80. So everything we're going to design would be relegated to this area and this area, like we did here. So what's the first thing we're going to do? We create our text. The biggest text on the website is called an H1. So I will just come here, click on the text tool, write text, and say making emails that keep you happy. Then I will come to this place and change the typography for those who don't know how to do that. And the size is 60. Next thing, I will then shrink this side and relegate it to the left, or like this. I think I want it to be 2 lines. I could decide to go to 58 now. Move it to the side. You see, I wanted to touch the side. Next thing is we're going to duplicate it. This is our H1, as I said. We need a subtext. This is subtext. Subtext are usually H3, H4, because they're not the second biggest or smallest thing on the website. So this is the subtext. I just brought it in here. You can actually always, hold your Alt and drag, then rename what you need to rename, then resize it to 16 to make a subtext. So the next thing we need to do now is to make our buttons. We need 2 buttons. So I'll name this button 1. But there's a problem. You can see that I just duplicated this thing with Alt or Command plus Control D to duplicate. What am I saying? Control D will do this. So I just drag out. Look at this place. Pay attention to this part. So I'll press Control D again. You see something will happen here. This is duplicate. Control D. You can see it keeps duplicating itself over and over again. Let me do that again. This is the text here. I will change the text color to white outside here. And I'll press Control D. I'll press Control D and duplicate. Now, I'll press Ctrl D again. You see, it keeps duplicating over and over again. That is how to duplicate something to use, for the sake of speed. That's how I do it. So that's how I was able to duplicate this and duplicate this. But now you can see that this particular one, it has a width that is too long, and the width is 633. But I need this particular line, this blue line, to wrap around this text. So I just come to this place under layout. So this is the width of the layout of the text. I just click on this, so you can see it wraps around it. Next thing I want to do is I want to add an auto layout to this design. Figma has changed in the last few days, so it seems very, very difficult for me to find the auto layout feature here. Interesting, they've put all of this here. It used to be at the top before. Anyways, I will have to, teach us the other method, which is to press Shift plus A. So what happens now? When I press Shift plus A new layout called Auto Layout was created. Auto Layout is very important, but for now, I'm not going to explain what Auto Layout is. I want to explain, I will just allow us to do this. You press Shift plus A to create this button, and you can see this wrapper became bigger. Now when I select this wrapper and it became bigger, I can then add a color to the back and use my green, or my orange rather. I mean my yellow. What am I saying? So Shift plus A creates an auto layout. I would write it later. So that's button one. Then I duplicate it with Control D or Shift plus or Command D. Now I will also press all the two of them together by, to select two items together. You can see that once I select this, it's only highlighting this. Select this, only highlighting this. But select the two of them, I would Shift. In this course, you'll be holding on Shift. You hold Shift many times. Then I would Shift again and A to group the two together. Then I will now come to this place under Auto Layouts. I will come to this place and then I will change the spacing. Look at this thing, this line is showing that you can increase and decrease the spacing between this. If I do this, see this, what's happening. But we need a space of in multiples of 8, so I'll do 16. Now I will change this button to black, and I will check our inspiration. It says we serve a table online order. So I'll come here and say reserve a table order online. Now the text here is difficult to see, and I don't like the spacing between this. See the spacing here? It's 10 pixels. So I select this. Now, when you select this item, you select the two of it, but then I'll select this one alone, this particular black button. So I'll click again. You see it's selected only this one now. Now the padding here is 10. Padding from top to bottom. Look. If I do this, you can see the blue line shows from left to right. If I do this, the blue line shows from top to bottom. So I want to increase the line to 16. And this one to 16 also. You can see it's bigger now. And this one also, I want to increase it to 16. And 16. So we have a bigger button. So now I want to give them radius. Like I want to give this button a curve. Yeah, so I come here and I do 8. So you can see it's a curve. And I come here and I do 8. Now, if I'm wondering what is this for, let me show you what it is for. I will just drag this out for the sake of explaining what this particular thing is for. So I'll come back and give this particular example that I'm trying to show you a radius of 0. Then I will come and click this. You can see it is to make things smooth. You see that, and also to make sure that I only selected two sides. Look, I selected this side, I said 8 here. Let's change it and say 24. And this one is 8. The bottom one is maybe 8 again. And this one is maybe 24. So this is the button I created now. And that is what this particular thing is for. And see, it shows mixed because we're doing different things for the button. So let me delete it because it's not part of the button. So to select this particular element, double click it till you get to it, or you press Control, select it, make it white, so you can see the button very well. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to make our navigation. So we can look at how we did it. We put this, then make navigation center and put a login in. We won't be doing that in this tutorial because it's just for practice sake and I don't want to exceed 20 minutes or 25 minutes. We'll say happy, let's call it happy meal this time around. Happy meal. And I'll put it here because it's supposed to be the what logo. You can also decide to do something. Come to this plugin section, you contains your assets, your rulers, settings for the computer. Now go to plugin section. We'll look for Iconify. Type Iconify. Then open it up. Then I will type here spoon or plate, depends on what you want to do. I will just pull out this spoon, for example. I'll try to make a logo. So immediately I drag the spoon out, I saw that it was too big. Now what do? You hold shift and you drag down. You drag the nodes. And I explained what this is for. This is a node. This are nodes. So select them and you see I'm able to resize it like that. Hold shift. Many people still make this same mistake. They would instead do like this, just drag. And it still works, but you can see that it is distorted. It's not the same thing again. You drag like this, it will look ugly like this. That's not what you want. Hold your shift down on your computer, hold shift, and you're able to create this. So we're coming here and then we're going to hold it together with auto layout. You press shift plus A while selecting the two of them. Then look at this. This happy meal is on top in this box, but I want it to be at the center. So I select this particular group and I come to this thing. Look, it's showing that it's on top. Look, if I do this, it's still on top. If I do this, it's at the bottom. If I do this, it's at the center. Let me explain it in another way for you. I draw a rectangle. I draw another rectangle. Bring it on top. I change the color to blue. Now, I want to teach you how to select these two items together. I want this particular rectangle to be at the center. Look, immediately I put it at the center, what happened? It showed lines telling me that it was at the center of it. So but let's bring it back here. I will teach you how to hold two items together. These are two items, right? 1, 2. I will hold shift my computer, select item 1, select item 2. Can you see now that it is shown here that I've selected these two things? Now I want this thing to be at the center of this design. So I'll come here under alignment. Look at this thing. Vertical alignment. This is on this line. Now I want it to be on the middle here, right? So we'll do this. Center alignment. That is it. So the same concept that is applied here in auto layout. It has its own alignment also. Right, center, this. So anyways, we have our logo. Let's go back to make our navigation menu. So I will type T for text. I will now say home. You don't need to do home most times. Usually it's best to also put an auto layout. Put this in a wrapper called auto layout. Shift plus A on it. So let's change it to about. Then I'll duplicate this. I would select inside this by pressing Control. Select it or double click to select it. Both works. Then I'll change it to regular. Change this to 14. Then now that I have this, I want to create the rest of them, which is menu, location, contacts. I would now do this. Control D or Command, then I'll drag it out. Then I can do Control D again. Look, it keeps replicating itself. So I do this, select holding Shift, then Shift plus A again to automate everything. Now look at this. It's showing you some lines in between this. And that shows under this automate section. See, from here to here, step automate settings. Shows that the spacing between all of this navigation is 12. You can try to change it to what you want. So, but let's do 16. Then change this to menu. Change this to location. Change this to contact. So now that I have all of this, I will bring it to the extreme left. Now that I'm done with these two, I want to also steal the opening hours and create these opening hours. So I will draw a circle on my screen. I can either come here, select ellipse, or press O. So draw your ellipse, don't forget to hold your shifts. When you're drawing shapes and things, you hold shift to draw so you get a smooth concentric line. You can see the spacing here is 134 by 134. This is locked. If I unlock it, these two sizes will not be the same. But I want to do a size of maybe 20, 30, 32. Let's do 32. And change the color to green. You know what? I'll do 16 instead. And I'll bring to the top of the design. Then I'll say text restaurant opens from 10:30 in the. Now bring this to the side. Hold the two together with shift. Then I will auto layout it with shift plus A. Shift plus A is for auto layout again. Then I'll reduce the spacing between the two items, this item and this item, by 4. Then I can then change the color of this one. So the lightest shade of yellow doesn't work. I will change it to the lightest shade of this shade, or go up again. Or I could just fill it up, because it's already on auto layout. It also has sheet the fill property. I'll fill it up with the color, maybe this. Then give the padding. Now, one of the things we want to avoid in design is a lack of white space. This daily is scratching the edge of this part. There's no breathing space. It can't breathe. So basically, I just give the spacing of 8 at the sides and 8 at the top. Then I can give the radius of maybe 24. If I zoom out, this is what I see. Now, next thing is what to put our image here. I don't want to do this type of image, or I'll just do this feature and this feature. And I won't do this background thing. So I'll just come here. I'll just draw a rectangle from here down to this place. I want to do a new style of design. So look at this better radius. I want to curve this place and this place. I can actually just pick on these nodes and do this. You see what happens? But then I want to do this too. So I'll just come here, click on this, and do 32, 32. 32 seems too small. Let's do 48, 48. It's still too small. You can also do additions here. Do 48 plus 24. You can do addition, subtraction. Next is that I want to put our image inside this design. For the sake of the previous tutorial, I was rushing because there was no time. But now I will make this bold, even bolder, so that it pops. Also notice that my spacing between these elements are very, very thoughtful. So check your spacing between an element and the next element. Select the first element, then hold Alt, then hold the Option. I don't know if it's Alt on Windows. Select it and hold Alt. You can see this spacing is 31. You want to do 28, 26, 20, 24. So anyways, let's move on and add our image to the design. So I will select the plugin icon, then go to plugin, then I used Unsplash. I will select Unsplash and allow it to load. Unsplash also has a website, you can get images from it and bring it to the design. So let Unsplash load. It's taking a while. Okay, so Unsplash has loaded. I need to search for food, maybe jollof rice. Jollof rice. The picture with this cannot be used because it is locked. And I will just select something good. You have to also be intentional about pictures you use in your design. You have to use good pictures. They are very important to use good pictures. Perhaps I will use this one. I will not jollof rice, but for the sake of speed. Oh, okay. Now there's a problem here now. There's not. This is not bad, but I forgot to simply do something to select this first before importing the design into it. So I'll just select this first so that it then shows itself in the design. So the next thing I want to do is, we have this. If I then click on this desktop, I can rename it to restaurant. I double click on it. So I'll click on it, select it, and I can turn off the grid, turn off the eye to hide, and then we have it, our design. I can decide to then change the color of the background to something more befitting. I can group this together. So please pay attention to the grid. I taught us how to use grid. You select this, create your grid here. These are the settings for the grid I'm using. So I have done this already. I have put time for the restaurant to open here. I will change this because I use something. I won't use that. I will use something even much more lighter. Okay, so we've done this already. Next thing is I can decide to add another food, but this time around I'll use a circle. I'll put a circle here and make it white. Add effects here and add a shadow settings is here. You can do the shadow to spread, but I want to reduce the opacity of the shadow to 8. Then I want to say best meal ever here. So I'll click here and I need to search for a check mark or something. Oh, there's a plugin called Arc. Let's use Arc first of all to make a round text. Arc. Okay, it's in this particular Arc plugin needs us to write our text first of all. I can always search for multiple types. You can always play around with, Arc, text Arc. So you see this, it makes the text Arc. So I want to have a text inside here that says best meal in Lagos. Let's say Lagos. City. Then you can then select it and you can start the angle. Okay, this is not really working. Oh, okay, I see. So let's do this one. So it goes around and then we can generate. Okay, this is not working much. I don't like it. I think I know why I don't like it because it's just a few text. Let's just do the half curve and generate. So I will ungroup it. Ungroup. I right clicked and ungrouped. Then I will bring it into my design. Or pull it out first. Make it bigger. Hold shift. Pull it into this. Change the color also to yellow. Close this. Then I'll make sure it is centered properly. Then I need to search for for an icon. I will go to Iconify again and search for check the check mark. Let's see the check mark. How can the check mark with a circle? This one. But let's check page 2 and see if we have more options. Page 3. Okay, I'll pull this one out to use, and then maybe I'll make another circle inside here again. So I press my O or select your O here. Then I will change this to green. Then duplicate it again, make it smaller, change this to white. Take this, then I'll drag it here. You can see it's behind this text, it's behind. So I'll just do what? Right click and press bring to the front. Then I'll select the two together. You can do like this, just drag on the screen and just select it together. And make sure they are on equal spacing. Let me do that again. But let me intentionally, let me also increase the dimension of this to okay, I'm selecting it out of its shape here. So also be careful of your icons. You can see this is look at this. It is maxed, but this is the frame holding this particular icon. So I also want to stretch it out like this. And I will intentionally take it and put it here because I want to center it in the middle of this design. So I'll select both like this. Then I will bring it to the middle, bring it to the middle here also. Then I will press what? Control G to group. Control G to group. Selected, I just take it and I'll just maybe make the lighter shade of green. Look at this. I'll just select the green, but then change it to a lighter shade. And then take it also and bring it into this design. I'll intentionally move it to the side here so I show you how to adjust it. Look, selecting two of them like this, or select it like this. Hold shift, select, hold shift, select. Then do this center, center. Then I will group it again by Control G. Then bring it into our main design. Then also select all of this also again. And do this. No, top. This should be top. No, sorry. Okay, they're in center except for this curved text. Then I'll do this. Then again, select all of them and do Control G. Then I now bring it into our design. The shadow still seems too strong, so I'll press Control and select the main ellipse with the yellow background. See it here, and I'll reduce the shadow or the spread. You can see the spread is a lot. Or increase the blur. You can increase the blur. Why? In the shadows I wanted to use for a project, your shadow must almost be invincible. It must be subtle. So here we have it. We've done our restaurant design finish. Now select this. I can then select. You can do two things now. You can select your design, go to export. If you want to share your design with me, go to export, for example, and click on this 2x, and then export your design to your folder or your laptop. And this is it. I can then save it in my designs and click save. So that's how to save your design. If you want to either present your work, maybe you feel like presenting in a different way, and even if you want to also maybe add some effects on the design, you can add a stroke here to the design. Click on outside, increase the font weight to 16. It's this in this design we're going to just be plain. And look at this. Voila, we've created something even more spectacular. And then you can go here. You can even now go back to white. I think it's better with white at the back. It's better like this. So okay, so next thing is we have this design, select it again, and I can select on this, and I can go to plugin again. I'll go to mockup, and I can use mockup plugin. You can also do that if you want. So you allow it to load. This tutorial is taking longer than I wanted it to. But I mean, we are done with this particular tutorial. Tutorials are really long, and it's something you have to get used to doing. It's still loading, so you might just be patient. So why you want to put it in the mockup, you know. So there are two ways to present your work. Anyways, before I jump into the mockup usage, I want to show you how to present your work to people. This I want to change all of this. Look at what I did now. I told you that this is an auto layout, right? You can also always say it. Select this one. I want to de-emphasize the color here by changing it to a lighter shade of of black. So in this design, please you're going to work with a lighter shade of this and a lighter shade of that because it helps you with the work. With time, I will explain why it's done that way. I'll fill this up and make it, this color, radius of 4, for example. So to present your work to people or online, I want you to look at this. This size is 1440 like this. So press frame on your computer. Either you click on, then you draw a frame. Just draw a random frame. Just drag. And let's say the width is 1600, or let's say 1650 by 1000. So I will now duplicate this design. Holding Alt, drag it out into this place. Change the background of this main particular file to a shade of grey. Maybe even give this a radius of 24, something like that. So this is how to present your work. Then what do you do next? You select it and then you export. Export in 2x. The bigger the size, the better. I don't know about these two. I've not used them, but the bigger size better. But then the thing is that the bigger the size file, the more it takes, the more data it consumes to send the file to us. So sometimes you can just take a 1.5, but if you want a good, strong resolution for WhatsApp, for example, do a 2x is better. You export as PNG, and you export it to me or to anybody you want to show the work to. So now going back to this particular plugin, I can just come in, go to the search icon, then select category, select devices. Then I'm using a paid version of this, or you can use the free version by clicking this. So let me go back to my paid version. Okay, I'll use a free version for the sake of this tutorial. Then I select, start searching for one to use. Okay, I will select this one, or select yeah, this one. The next thing is you just click on this plus and click here, allow it to load. So once you use the design, you then adjust it. Look, you have to adjust. Then I do crop. So once you click on crop, it loads the design into it. Then you can also export it in 1550, but then I like to do 3000 because the quality is stronger. And I click on paste. So paste the design here. So once you paste it here, your design is ready. You can also take this one and export it to me, and I can then see the work. Thank you. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much.